you guys doing?
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Pia, I'm waiting to hear back from Kimberly. Do I have homework for you?
Yeah, you do for a few days because I must admit I did not do it in the first days out of the aspect that I did not read properly. So I just saw the note homework due by 11:59 yesterday. So I
Okay.
gathered everything and did not. I was planning to do it yesterday, but when you sent that video out, since then I've done it.
Okay, perfect. Kimberly's double checking. April, how about you? Because I have you on my list of no homework. I need answers and cameras on, or I'm gonna move.
Sorry, I'm driving. I did submit the sheets, but I didn't make the calls, and I put that on the sheet.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, why did you choose not to make calls?
And I actually I have a listing that I've kind of overbid on. It's my first listing, and I kind of am doing way too much. So I own a cleaning company. So I cleaned for them, and I'm staging for them, and I'm painting for them, and I'm doing junk removal for them, and the open houses this weekend. So I've been there like 13 hours a day for the past like 4 days. And then I just, before that, I was like shopping for it, prepping for it. I've just been overdoing it at this house, I think. But I'm excited. So I think that's why I'm doing it.
Well, I mean, you track your numbers are zero. You did track them, and the whole point is to track so you know. So I'll pass you on that. But let me just say this to you and tell everybody on the call this, especially you new agents. I know how it feels, and I remember getting my first listing. Anybody on here remember getting your first one, how exciting you are, and you put all your time and energy into it, and you feel like that's your main focus? If I could just say this to you, taking care of pre-existing business never takes precedent over finding new business. And it was one of the hardest lessons I had to learn, because when you work so hard to get the business, when you get it, you just want to, you just want to go plug in and like get that bad boy sold. And the issue that created for me, I can't speak for anyone else except me, my business was really cyclical because I would work hard to get it, then I would get it and work hard on getting it sold, and I wasn't making the calls and doing the lead gen like I was supposed to. So it was a hard lesson for me. And one thing I would tell you, again, first and foremost, congratulations on getting your first listing. That's huge, and I feel like you need to celebrate that. And I will tell you that you always want to protect your mornings. Rule of thumb, because you control your schedule. So the photographer, all the things you need to do at that property, don't schedule any of that in the morning. Protect your mornings. Your mornings are for, masterminding, script practice, making calls, doing your follow-up. And that way, no matter what, you're going to continue doing the activities that got you the listing in the first place. And then in the afternoon, you can spend your afternoons with the listing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It was embarrassingly eye-opening when I was submitting the paper. I didn't want to submit zeros, obviously, but like I had to be real with myself, but yeah. So it was embarrassingly eye-opening how I was disproportionately spending.
I rather you do that and be honest with yourself, because I'm a big Jay-Z fan. He always says men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? So it's like, I don't even want you putting in there, because you could have said, David, I made 20 calls. I never would have known that, right? I appreciate you being honest, because it allows you to be honest with yourself and understand, like, hey, because I didn't make it, I'm not getting the appointment. So don't be embarrassed about it. Just understand what kept you from making the calls, and set up a system in your business so that doesn't happen again, because you always want to protect that time in the morning. So don't be embarrassed about that. I'd rather see you put zeros and be honest with yourself, because you wouldn't be cheating me. You'd be cheating yourself if you weren't tracking the real numbers, right? All right. Thank you. All right, guys. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling all right? All right. I had a conversation with an agent yesterday, and won't say any names, but there are a few people I've been talking to who aren't feeling that great about their business and state of the world and what's been going on, and they're having a hard time keeping their head in the game. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow on Let's Talk About It Thursday, because we need to make sure that we are lifting each other up and holding each other accountable and pushing through no matter how we feel, and showing up and doing the work anyhow. With that being said, any ahas from tracking your numbers? I know you guys are like, David's got me doing this exercise. There is a method to the madness. I hope you guys know that. What did you notice from tracking your numbers about your business?
I have an
Somebody,
aha.
go
I'm
ahead.
not I'm not doing enough at all. Like, so yeah, that's pretty sad. And I
Okay.
can only blame myself for it, right?
Well, now you know it though.
Yeah.
It's only sad if you don't do anything about it.
Yes, true. And I just like what you were telling, I'm sorry, who were you just talking to about like
April.
scheduling your mornings? And
Mhm.
you know, I'm not doing that. Like I'm throwing everything in. So everything, something else is always urgent or important. So I'm just trying to work through that and make sure I just stay consistent with real estate only.
I will tell you this. A lot of things can be urgent. A lot of things can be important, but very few things are urgent and important. And you got to learn how to like put those in the right quadrant and make sure you're focusing on the things that need to be done because things can rob you of your time so quickly in this business. So thank you. Thank you. Brittany, what's up? I like watching your stories, Brittany. I don't know if you guys follow Brittany, but when you talk about documenting your day, she's like, script practice. I'm practicing this, and I'm on this listing appointment. I love how she kind of shows what she's doing throughout the day, and any of her clients can look and see like this person is working in real estate every day, and it's that proof from posting. So I like that, Brittany. What's up, Brittany?
Thank you. Yeah, I try to always remember to do it. Some weeks I forget, and I'm just trying to get in that habit. In regards to the tracker, my aha moment is I need to ask for the appointment more. So, you said to put for contacts as people that you ask for appointments. So I'm not putting a lot of numbers in there because I don't give myself the opportunity to ask for the appointment when I get them on the phone. I'm getting answers. It's just I won't track it if it's not if I don't ask. So it's been in my head the last week, like, okay, if I get off the phone, darn it, I didn't ask for an appointment. I need to ask for an appointment more often.
Can I ask you and read in the comments because Naki wants you to put your IG in the actually everybody put your IG in the chat. Why don't we just do that? But what's keeping you, because Brittany, you're not the only person that's having this issue. What is keeping you from asking for the appointment more often?
It depends on the answer that I'm getting, you know. Some people, like if they're just not selling, that's what a lot of people are saying in my area, just because the market's pretty tough. So I don't really like ask the appointment on there. I kind of just like ask questions like what changed or if they're planning on selling in the future. And then if they say no, I just don't want to sell anymore, I'm not asking for the appointment. And
I
then
get that. I get that.
yeah, and then I know you say to always ask if it's a wrong number, because I'm getting a lot of those pickups,
Mhm.
and I haven't gotten myself to ask if they know anybody looking to buy. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell? I don't ask that, so that is a contact, but I'm not asking for the appointment.
So listen, Brittany, I got to tell you, these wrong numbers can lead into a lot of opportunities.
And I've
Right?
seen it, you know, I've had
Yeah.
somebody answer and say, no, I'm not the owner, but why are you calling? And then I told them, oh, I'm a real estate agent. Like, oh, I've thought Cape Coral. I've thought about Cape Coral. You know, I have friends that live there. I've had people that, you know, if the door is kind of open, then I go in, but right away they're like, no, I'm not the owner. And then I look at their area code and they're like in, I don't know, another state. I don't really push, but I know I should because like that one person that says, oh, I've heard of that area. I've thought about living there.
What's your average commission when you close on the deal? 5 grand, 10 grand?
I would say between 5 to 10, depending on the purchase, obviously depending on the purchase price, but yeah.
Your mindset needs to be everybody you talk to is 5,000. And when you're not asking like, hey, sorry, I got the wrong number. However, since I have you on the phone, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, who do you know that I should be talking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? Who should I be talking to? Just ask.
Yeah. Well, the other day I had the son of the parents answer the phone. It was his number, not their number. He wouldn't give me their number. So I said, hey, I can send you my information. However, if you know anybody, I know I shouldn't have said if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, I'd be happy to help. He's like, okay, thanks for putting that out there. I will definitely let you know.
You shouldn't have said if. What should you have said?
Who do
Who?
you know?
Who do you know?
Yep.
Listen, Brittany,
Caught
things can
myself
come
after I
out.
said it.
Good things could come out of talking to strangers. I was growing up in Cleveland and called the wrong number and ended up meeting this great girl. We was dated for a couple of years. I was like, I know this is the wrong number. You kind of cute. You sound cute anyhow. I like your voice. And so you just never know. You just got to ask the questions,
Never know.
Brittany.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. Let me stop. But listen, Brittany, I will challenge you on this. Do it every single time. Make it a standard in your business that whenever you talk to anyone, you're asking, who do you know? We should be closing every single time. And I cannot wait for you to call me and say, David, I did it and I got a listing from it. And I
Yeah.
know what'll happen. You're just not asking.
I know, and you're in the back of my head every single time when I hang up. I hear you in the back of my head say, "Why didn't you do it?"
I actually think I want to get like some push bobbleheads to sit on your desk and you can just like see my head all day. Like, this is what David was saying. I think I might do that, Brittany. Go for it though, seriously, because I know you're doing all the right things.
Mhm.
Just ask. Starting today, like today, every call. Let me know
Okay.
how it goes.
Okay, I will.
Johnetta.
Yeah. What I've what I've learned is that I'm not making I'm not working nearly as much as I in my head I think I'm working because I'm thinking about it all day long. And I was like, what? I only called 3 hours. I started at, yeah, it's way out there. It's really crazy. And just watching myself incorporate things into my business that you've taught us. I do ask, who do they know that's interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate? I have incorporated that in, but I'm not making, and the other part is my conversion rate is like, why aren't I converting these people? Well, for one thing, I'm not asking for the appointment, I realize. So
Right.
it's quite a few eye openers with this. So
And here's the thing, I know some of this stuff I have you guys doing, you're thinking like, this is a little basic stuff. However, it makes you realize, number one, if you're a full-time realtor, like calling for 2 hours a day isn't enough if you don't have the business you want. If you want more business, you have to have more conversations. And when you start tracking how many hours, how many calls, how many contacts you make, it's very easy to sit down and say, well, I see why I'm not making the money I need to make. I'm not calling enough people. I'm not closing enough. I'm not asking for the opportunity. So this is all just making you aware. That's the whole point of this boot camp, is to make you aware of where there are opportunities for growth. And now you have to make a commitment to maybe double down. You know, John, I don't know what your goals are, but maybe it's, instead of making 2 to 3 hours, maybe it's 4 to 6 hours worth of. And let me back it up a little bit. I need to stop saying make calls, because not everybody likes to make calls. You could door knock, you could host networking events, right? You could be in someone's DMs, you could post on social media as a way to get business. You know, one of my students, Patty Gurney, that's all she does. So let me just say lead generation. However you do that, it does not have to be calling FSBOs and expireds. That's what I did. It doesn't mean that's what you have to do. However, we have to be doing more if we don't have the business we want. And we have to track our conversion rate. And guys, I'll say this, and I will tell you, it's a game changer. You got to record your calls, and you got to go back and listen to it. You'll see very quickly why your conversion isn't where it needs to be. You'll recognize, I'm talking too much. I'm not asking enough questions. I'm not actually following the script. My objection handling isn't really solid. You'll see where the issues are. Then it's up to you to fix it. So how do you record? There are apps you can get on your phone. You can set up Zoom and put your phone on speaker and just make your calls and let Zoom record you and go back and watch it. There's so many different ways you can record. You need to record your calls. There's so much information and growth. I promise you, you will change your conversion rate, and you'll see very clearly where and why you're making the mistakes. And here's an offer I'll make to you guys. If you record your calls and you have a call and you're like, I don't know where I messed up here, and you send it to me, I will listen to it and review it and give you feedback. Here's the caveat though. This is going to be learning for you and for everyone else. So whatever you send me, just know I'm going to share it on social media. So you got to be willing to put yourself out there. I'm not going to share the seller's name and their address and any pertinent information that would allow someone else to go after it. However, just know I'm going to share that in some form or fashion. If I'm going to take my time to do that for you, I'm going to make it work for me too. Is that fair? Take me up on it. Taylor's the only person who's really taken me up on that before. And you guys know Taylor from my calls. And look at him. He just closed. He had 5 closings about a month ago in the same week. So hearing the feedback, fine-tuning what he says has really made a difference. Sydney, what's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, the aha for me was I'm definitely not making enough calls, but I am talking to a lot of people. I go to the bar, set my computer at the bar, have a couple of drinks, eat, and play on my computer and talking to the person next to me. That has worked. I'm getting some leads and things like that. But also, again, doing 2 jobs doing this and another job. So it's hard. Well, I'm learning how to juggle the both because I have to, especially I just had a closing Friday, but it was a closing from hell. Everything went wrong. So I was constantly trying to juggle everybody, keep everybody in place, make sure it happened. It finally happened. I had another one that's under contract, but it was about to die. But my lender did me a favor and found another lender that was able to help my buyer with some down payment assistance. So it saved the deal. So I'm still working with that, and then also doing all leads, and then also working. It's just a lot, and family life. It's a lot to juggle with. So
It is.
That was like, it's like I want more, but then it's like juggling more and dealing with more and nurturing the leads that I do have. It's a lot.
And creating new lead opportunities. Number
Yeah.
one, I give you props for the shirt you have on. You should be wearing that to the bar. You should be wearing that to the gym, letting people know, like, ask me about real estate. And if you're going to set up your computer and be at a bar and have some drinks and have conversations, what I'm going to challenge you to do is every time you do that, go to a different bar and document, like, take a picture or a video of you there, review them, like, man, I love this oatmeal stout at so-and-so. You guys got to check it out. Because when you do that and you post it and you tag that restaurant, now all their clients see your video and see that you're in real estate because you're going to reference real estate in that post. I took Michelle out for a hike, and afterwards we went to one of my favorite breweries, and this brother had this wing truck set up, and I tried his wings. They were amazing. And I did this whole video and had him say something on the video, and I posted it. And I was telling Michelle, this is what I tell people to do all the time when they're out living life. Dude, that post, I posted that on Saturday. That post has almost 2,000 views and like 80 comments. If I was still an agent, right, people would be like, oh, this guy, okay, I see him. He's out there doing real estate, reviewing. That's what you need to do. You're there already. So document what you're doing, post it and tag, and talk about real estate, and do that. Go to different places and show people who you are. You'll get business just on the strength of doing that, and you're already there, so it's no extra work. All right. Naki. And we got 3 people, Naki, Sharif, and Shanita. Then we're going to get into class. Class today is short because it's just about appointment setting, and there's really one main message that I have about appointment setting. So that's why I'm spending a little bit more time getting some feedback from you guys. Go ahead, Naki.
Right. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say that I had a few aha moments. One, the calling is not obviously my forte. I sound like a blubbering mess when calling strangers, right? However, in person, like I got the opportunity with one of our team, Joannie, to do an open house on Sunday with her.
Nice.
And I found that I was feeling confident and in my zone talking to strangers the same way about real estate. I also felt motivated in the sense that I went to the free section of Bold yesterday for the first half of the day. And this guy said in his first year, he had 11 transactions. I'm like, how? So I'm like, you know what? I gotta do something. So I pulled out a stack of my cards again. I'm always at soccer 4 times a week. And I just started down the line. Hi, do you rent or own? I'm a new realtor. I even said new to some. I said I'm a New Jersey realtor, and even if I'm new, I'm passionate. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Long story short, I felt more confident even talking to random strangers. So I started to write down all, even like when I post on social media, I get interactions from that. And as much as I had 0 appointments on my tracking, I felt pretty good about talking about real estate all day long. My question for you, David, is, I couldn't track my hours because it wasn't necessarily hours. I was at soccer for an hour and a half. I gave out my cards to like maybe 15 people, and I had about 7 different conversations to people who owned, people who said, you know what, I'm a landlord and I will call you when my next vacancy comes up. Mothers there who own property and said, I said to my husband, I'm tired of this hustling life, so we're looking to purchase again, so I'll keep your card. And things like that. It felt like good prospecting. I didn't get their numbers, but the fact that I still gave 15 people and had at least 6 or 7 conversations, like really at least 5 to 10 minute conversations with these people, it was better than the calls. Hi, I'm Naki calling from.
Yeah. And you got to go out and have more interactions. And I would tell you, if it were me, I would mark an hour. I was making calls and I talked to 15 people. I will tell you this, Naki, moving forward, we ain't giving business cards out no more. Because what do you do when you get business cards? I know what I do with them.
Some of them throw them away, yes. But I mean, if you give out 20, one might keep it.
we don't make our business on mites. Here's what we're going to do. You work for Keller Williams. There's a Keller Williams app, right? Do you know about the app?
Yes, I have it on my phone, yes.
So you can share that app with people. So what you're going to say moving forward is everybody I meet, they're always curious when they go past an open house or they're out of town traveling and they want to know, what is that home worth? I wonder what it looks like. This app you can use no matter where you're traveling. You can pull up and see homes and see what they're priced at and what they look like. So I'm going to share this app with you, and this allows me to also get your contact information so I can follow up with you. Because if I give you my card, you get busy, you're going to forget. I won't forget to follow up with you.
Saying like, don't throw it away, keep it in your pocket. You know, someone.
We ain't doing that. Nope.
Right?
Nope. Stop doing that.
Okay.
Stop doing that like today. Get their information. And be okay saying, hey, I'd love to add you to my mailing list, or I'd love to just be in touch and follow up our conversation. Yes. What's your number? Don't say, would it be okay if I what's your phone number? And put it in your phone right there.
So that's good advice. I'm going to write like a letter type of thing, and I'm going to go door knocking. I'm going to still do the phone calls. I'm saying I'm going to devote at least 2 hours a day to phone calls, still for the practice as well and the potential clients. But I'm going to just canvass the neighborhood. Like, I got to go knock the doors and talk.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And listen, the phone calls, I didn't like making the phone calls either. I'm better in person. And what I would say to myself is, I need to make the calls so I can get belly to belly with the seller. So the calls are just kind of the gateway to getting in front of them. So just make the calls and just keep practicing your scripts. You may think you sound like you're blubbering. You're not. And just make the calls anyhow. You get better every time.
Yes, I have to make the calls because I look at it now, not as income, which it is, but more as you got to do this to get the practice to get better at real estate. That's how I'm approaching it.
And just really quickly, when you did the open house, were there potential opportunities like for business?
Of course. Yes, definitely.
So you asked, how did this guy in a year get 11 listings, right? Imagine if you did an open house. Let's just say you did one every other week. That's 26 open houses in a year. Yes. Let's just say half of them you found an opportunity. That's 13 deals right there. It's doable if you do the work. You just got to do the work.
Yeah.
Got to do the work. That's it. All right, Naki, thank you. Sharif, what's up, man?
Good morning, everyone. So from, I believe, Friday until yesterday, I went on 3 listing appointments. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of them. But hey, experience, that's what matters. 2 of them, the sellers were not realistic, and 1 we just didn't agree. Well, the house is not done yet, so maybe we'll reach out to him later. When it came down to tracking, right? So for me as a new agent, I have like classes in my calendar. So I have classes that take up time during the day. So I would love to sit here and cold call for like, I don't know, 6 hours straight, but unfortunately I can't do that because I have your class, which I love to join. You have script practice, which I like to join. I have other classes at the office that I like to go to just so I can learn, just so I can stop being a secret agent and just show my face out there. So that's what I struggled with. I think in the past, for the next couple of months or so, when I get better at the business, my calendar will clear out a little bit, and I'll
Of course.
make more calls. But speaking of open houses, I saw Bree commented door knock before the open house.
Absolutely.
It works.
Absolutely.
It works. I did an open house in Irvington. I have a seller lead and 2 buyers leads.
Okay, and real quick, I'm not gonna let you speed past what you just said. Can we just, this dude's been in the business 2 months. Can we just clap it up that he got 3 freaking listing appointments? It doesn't matter that you didn't get them. Dude, you got 3. There are people that I know who've been doing real estate for a year who haven't had 1. So be proud of yourself that you got 3. What I'm excited about, man, is I know that you're signed up for Push starting October 30th. What you're gonna learn from me is that probably 2 out of the 3 appointments you shouldn't have gone on. And when you learn how to pre-qualify, you won't be wasting your time meeting with those people. Because it gets a little discouraging when you're like, man, I went on 3, I didn't get any. Once you learn that 2 of them weren't serious anyhow, and that was a waste of your time, that's going to allow you to focus on the one that is serious. So you're good, man. You're learning. I don't expect you to have 3 to 4 hours block calls because you got Bold, you got this class, you got everything else going on. So in the beginning, you're not going to have time to make as many calls because you're learning what to do when you have the opportunities. Once you get those classes under your belt, though, you'll have more time to open up and make calls. And look at what you've done with the limited time you had. You got open houses, you got seller and buyer leads, you have 3 listing appointments. You're plugged in doing the right thing. Just continue to be coachable and keep showing up. That's pretty awesome, man.
Thank you. And also one more thing when it comes to for sale by owners, if you don't get the appointment, 90% of these multifamilies are investors. So ask, hey, like, do you know anybody that I should be talking to that want to sell or buy? So I did that with one of the FISBOs I called, and the guy told me, yeah, I'm an investor and I'm looking to buy. And next thing you know, he's on my pipeline right now. So just ask these questions. And also 2 social media leads.
Brittany, he's talking to you when he said ask those questions. He was talking to you, Brittany, just so you know.
Sorry,
this is literally like I'm sharing what worked for me in the past, I don't know, like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Social media, I got 2 rental leads from Instagram and TikTok. I was hesitating to post those videos because I hate the way I sound. But hey, like, here we are now. So that's what's been happening.
I don't like the way I sound, and people tell me they love my voice, but you know what? This is how I sound. This is how I look. What you see is what you get. Just do it. Just do it, man. I love that you said that. Just do it anyhow. So y'all take it from, this is what I love. You can learn from a brand new agent. And if you guys are paying attention to what he's saying, although he's new, he's doing some things that you guys are choosing not to do, maybe out of fear or whatever it is. And look at the results that he's getting. So you too can do this. Take action. Thank you, man. I appreciate you sharing that. Shanita, what's up?
Good morning, everyone. Hi, David.
Hey.
So I'm a dual agent, and this week I had a very busy work week. I'm also in the process of finishing a book. Was taking up some time. Get around to making a lot of phone calls. However, I did have some intentional conversations with people that I know. And I just been like, honestly, just praying, asking, like, I just need to talk to the right person so I don't feel like I'm all over the place. So I had this conversation with this guy who goes to my church, and he is he's an artist, but he's also, the word is not coming to me, someone who pretty much sells antiques and art at estate sales. And so we were talking, and he's donating to my nonprofit. So we were talking about that. And then I said, hey, can I share my, my virtual business card with you and things like that? Can I put information about any of your estate sales that you have coming up? And he was like, yeah, definitely. And he said, we should actually work close because I come across people who they're selling their estate, like they're selling their house. And then I don't know why it just didn't dawn on me, but it finally clicked. And I said, you know what? I think that's a great idea. So I'm actually going to go on one of his, I can't think of the word. I'm gonna go with him when he is auctioning
Yeah,
at one of the estates and just start networking with people.
good for
And
you.
so, yeah. So, and then the other aha from not making calls is that I really need to hire an executive assistant. So I was actually doing some research last night before I went to sleep. I know you mentioned it a few classes ago, delegate your time. And I've been looking at the prices of Vulcan and all those other things. And that's just not in my not in my budget right now, especially, like once I make some sales, I'll put that in my budget. So I think what I'm going to do is hire someone to do the research for me to, get the phone numbers, go on the MLS and do all those things for me so that I can set that day, the following day, just to make calls and it'll be cheaper that way.
Love it.
So that
Love
was
it.
my aha.
Well, here's another aha, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this. How many of you guys just raise your hands when you're driving to the grocery store or church, you see estate sales signs everywhere in your neighborhood? Yeah, so based on what Shanita said, you should probably go in like you're shopping and give somebody your card and say, hey, I'm a local real estate agent. Like if you happen to see someone who's looking to sell their home, do you have an agent that you refer that business to? I'd like to become your referral partner. How do I win that opportunity? Like, why wouldn't we be doing that? We're driving right past a house that's having an estate sale, which means they plan on selling the house. Doesn't it? Okay. Just putting that out there. Do with that as you wish. That's what I would do. Let me say this. I know some of you guys are thinking, can we get into the classwork? Because I'm here for the class. I promise you what I have for the class today, I kept it down to 15 minutes because it's quick. This is kind of the final class, so I wanted to wrap up and kind of hear this stuff. So we will cover what's important for the class today. Don't think I'm going to leave that out. I just want to hear from Kevin, and I'm going to hear from Calandra, and then we're going to move forward. So just know we're going to get to it. Kev.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
What I've learned taking this course is that well, little backstory. I used to work for Rent Center. I used to have to make calls to like all the people and had to thank you for choosing Rent Center, or this is Rent Center. I'm calling about your account. Accounts past due. So what I learned is that making cold calls for me kind of gives me like a thrill. It's kind of like an excitement. Like, especially like, all right, if I'm calling somebody, they don't pick up. All right, next person. If I'm calling somebody, I speak to them, stuff like that. So I actually like cold calling. And then what I've been doing, I've been calling a lot of for sale by owners. And at first, like when I first started real estate, I was like, I don't really want to deal with that. I wanted to deal with like just expireds. But dealing with the for sale by owners, I've been getting good feedback. And what I've been doing when I speak to them, I basically I don't try to close. I just be like, hey, listen, how long has it been on the market? Or have you did an open house late? Have you done an open house since you've been on the market? No, I've been thinking about it. But when you do, let me know so I can show up. I can see the house. I just want to see, like you said, I want to see the inventory in the neighborhood. I'm an expert in the neighborhood, so I want to see everything that's on the market in the neighborhood. I'd like to come see your house. And that's been kind of working. Some people are like, oh yeah, you can come out. I'll let you know or follow up these days. So I've been having good
that's good, man.
Results with the for sale by owners. And yeah, I learned that the calling isn't bad. Like soon as you might think about it during it, like when it's coming up, like, I don't feel like calling. But then once you get on the phone, it's like, this isn't bad. Like not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. It's not bad. If you call with the right mindset, which is, how can I help? And come from contribution, it's not bad. So you're talking to a FISBO, oh, you're having an open house. I have a packet of information that can help you get prepared for your open house. I'll bring that by and share that with you. And it's staging tips, it's home security tips, it's all the things that they could use. And you're coming from contribution, they're going to see that. They're going to recognize, man, this guy's looking out for me. He's following up. He's asking the right questions. Hey, I don't like selling my house. I like Kev. Let me give him a shot. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm oversimplifying it. However, it's really simple. And then push, that's what we cover, man. How to talk to those people, how to convert them, and how to get them to become your fastest source of business opportunity. So I say keep it up, man. Keep it up.
Yeah. And but with calling, I feel like since I started making the calls, it felt like I'm getting closer to where I want to, like, getting appointments or where I just want to go towards in my career. So it's like I stepped up to, not step to the next level, but kind of going in. I know I'm going in the right direction, so to speak.
Yeah, you are. Keep going, man. Keep going. Calandra, I might give you the final word if we can keep this to about a minute or so, and then we're going to get into the last portion of setting appointments.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it short. I really do like the exercises that we have been doing. I wish I would have had this when I first started in July, because in July and August I was getting a lot of appointments. Like some days I would have 2 or 3 appointments, and sometimes they would cancel them too. So I didn't actually have those 3 appointments, but I ran out of a lot of my money doing that, and I think my problem was I wasn't qualifying the appointments that I was having beforehand, because of the script that I was using. And so right now I'm just feeling a little down. I had this last week or two I've been looking for jobs, and yeah, so that's what kind of pushed me back from making more real estate calls. But the exercises that we have been doing have been helping me to know my why, and to help me like realize, hey, like when you do have the money again, like you need to go and this is what you need to do. So right now I'm like trying to just like practice and watch the videos and all the other resources you gave us, so that way I can feel better hitting the ground running again.
Are you trying, or are you actually doing it?
Trying what?
You said I'm like trying. That's the word you just used. I would tell you there is no try. You either do it or you don't. So we got to be super intentional. And here's the other thing I want to say to you. Number one, I want you to be on the morning mindset call tomorrow, because we're talking about this topic, thinking about leaving, thinking about getting a job. Things aren't quite working out. My mindset's not where it needs to be. So you need to be on that call tomorrow and on Tuesday of next week, because I invited a millionaire real estate agent who's typically on my calls, but I invited her to come on Tuesday to purposely talk with you guys about having a mindset reset. Who has heard Orly speak? Yeah, some of you guys have. She's a great agent, runs a great business, wrote a book called Mindset Reset, and I think a lot of us need that right now because we're feeling some type of way about real estate. So the next couple classes you really need to be on, and don't quit quite yet. Don't quit yet. It's there. The business is there. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't need the Vulcan 7. It's expensive. It's a great program. You don't need it. There are a lot of things that you could be doing right now to get business, and that's what we need to be talking about. So don't, because you're going to go work that job and you're going to go do 40 or 50 hours for someone else. And if you would just put that 40 to 50 hours into real estate, it'll pop. Don't go give somebody else your energy and your time. Give it to yourself. Give yourself an opportunity while you're looking to really plug into real estate wholeheartedly.
And that's what frustrates me, is because like when I was the last couple of months before I started to really get low on money, I was like I felt like I could do this. And then I did get a couple listings, but the first listing I got, I want to actually I wanted to come to Let's Talk About It Thursdays to talk about this too, because the market's telling me they're overpriced, like when clients are reaching out about it, but I see other houses that are like smaller and stuff getting rented out for that price in the area. So I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here.
We'll pause that. We'll talk about it after class. I got some time. I plan to stay on longer, so just pause that question and we'll come back to it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Ladies, I know your hands up. keep your hand up. I want to just get into this real quick, and then I'll come back to you, just because I know people are here and they want to hear something. I don't know if you guys got the handout in front of you right now, but there's a quote in here on yellow that I need you guys to see. You don't get paid to call, Brittany. You get paid to convert, Brittany. I'm messing with you. However, seriously, guys, we don't get paid to call. It's the conversion that matters. We have to be asking for the sale every single time. How many of you guys took my advice, besides Johnetta, because I know she did it? How many of you guys, if I had you turn your camera on right now and show me your desk, I would see 5 items on your desk so that you can make sure you were closing at least 5 times when you're on the phone? Who else did that? Be honest. Raise your hand if you did it. Okay. All right. We have to be closing every time we talk to someone. So what I want you guys to do, I don't care what it is, what you get. I got these little mints. Maybe I'll have 5 of these mints on my desk. I'll probably end up eating them. That's not going to work. Anyhow, 5 quarters, right? Every time you're on the phone with somebody, hey, just curious to know if I could set up an appointment with you for tonight at 5. Hey, would you be open-minded to meeting with me to talk about selling your home? Keep going 5 times before you give yourself permission to hang up the phone. Here's the thing you need to understand. It's your job to set an appointment. It's your job to close. Go for it at least 5 times before you give yourself permission to hang up. And recognize one thing, they haven't hung up on you. So they're just waiting for you to ask the right question, maybe waiting for you to overcome the objection, whatever it is. If they didn't want to talk to you, they would hang up. If they're still on the phone, there's still an opportunity. 5 times. 5 times, that's it. How many of you guys are willing to make a commitment that every time you have someone on the phone, you'll go for it at least 5 times? All right. Hey, Kimberly, can you help me write up a document to send out to everybody in here, like a pledge that they're going to close at least 5 times when they have an opportunity, and have it set up where they can sign it and send it back to me? I want y'all to make a contract with me that you'll do that. And here's what I promise you. You'll get more business. You will. Every time I go to buy something and the salesperson comes up to me, my first answer is no. I'm good. Y'all know that. So people are telling you no because it's a reflexive no. Keep going. You're a salesperson. They're trying to sell their home. They need somebody who can close. Show them that you know how to close. Yeah, Stacy, we're not doing enough. If that's the only thing you guys get out of this class is understanding you got to keep going until they say yes or until they hang up. My boy Tony and I, we used to play the hang up game. Y'all know what the hang up game is? Keep pushing and pushing and pushing for the appointment, or push and push and push for the listing until they hang up or kick you out the house. Kev, you say you like making calls and it's fun. Have fun. Play a game. I'm going to keep going for yes until they hang up on me. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, you'll get a yes. We aren't closing enough. Here's the other question I have for you. If I was a seller and I said to you guys, okay, I'm open to meeting with you about selling my house. Do you have this? I don't know if you guys understood what this is. In your packet that I gave you guys is a schedule, and here's what I highly recommend you do. This is going to change the way you prospect, and this is going to make you very intentional about setting appointments. When you're setting up your schedule for the week, I want you to look at your schedule and see when you have opportunities for listing appointments. You know what your schedule is like. You know when you got to take your kids to soccer. You know when you have date night with your spouse. You know when you have other commitments. The times that you have free, Monday through Friday, because we're doing this full time, right? Monday through Friday, and I recommend at least one time on the weekend, you need to look through your schedule and see what you have free. So on this calendar, just as an example, Mondays at 5, Tuesdays at 7, Wednesdays at 6, Thursday at 6, Friday at 7. So when I'm on the phone with a seller and they're open to meeting with me, I'm not asking them what would be a good time for me to come by. I'm looking at my schedule for that day. So today is Wednesday, and I'm going to say to them, hey, Charles, I got Wednesday at 6 p.m. or I can do Thursday at 6. What time works best for you? I am setting the appointment based on my schedule. Real estate is very predictable, and it's your business, and you should run it according to your life. You create a life by design, not by default. The way you create it by design is having the time in your calendar when you're free. And if they say, well, today or Thursday at 6 doesn't work for me, then I can say, well, I got Friday at 7 or I got Saturday morning at 11. You give them options based on what you have. And your goal for appointment setting every single week is to get on the phone and fill in these blank times that you have available for appointments to actually have appointments, whether it's a buyer consultation, a for sale by owner preview, a listing appointment. Your job is to get on the phone or go to the bar and have a drink or go to the gym and work out and have conversations with people. And your job is to fill these with appointments. Does that make sense? Now, here's a question. What do you do? Like today's Wednesday and nobody wants to meet with you Wednesday at 6 p.m. So that time slot you have available for a listing appointment, you didn't get an appointment set for that. What do you guys think we should be doing during that time? Brittany got it. Somebody else tell me. Charles got it. You get back on the phone or you go door knock, right? All those people you were attempting to reach in the morning you couldn't reach. Well, now you got Wednesday at 6 p.m. open. And maybe you don't call for the whole hour. Maybe you just say, hey, I'm going to take half an hour and I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to attempt to reach those people I couldn't reach this morning. You'll have a higher likelihood of reaching them because it's a different time. They're probably at home getting ready for dinner. And so make sure if that time is slotted on your calendar, even if you don't have an appointment, you are working on activities that will give you more appointments. I'm not saying go do paperwork and busy work. It's either you go on the listing appointment or you go door knock, or you go out to work out at the gym, purposeful that you're gonna have conversations. You take 5 business cards, put them in your pocket and go to Home Depot and start talking to people and giving out your card and Naki getting their phone number too when you're talking to them. Like these are the things I promise you if you do and you're purposeful about it, you're gonna walk away at the end of the week and you're like, man, I've talked to more people and got more appointments, more solid appointments, because you're going to learn how to pre-qualify, especially if you're going through push in October, and you're going to be getting in front of people who are serious and ready to sell, to buy, to invest. And that's really what our job is. Our job is to do one thing, is to prospect so that we can get in front of people and have a meeting about securing business. That's what our job is as real estate agents. Kelly, what do you have to say about that?
I'm just not reaching enough people when I make my calls. So this week I was more intentional about meeting people, like
Yes.
as I'm out in the world.
Yeah.
And I happened to be at a wine festival on Sunday, and this woman who was seated next to us started talking, and she asked me, "Do I do business in Parsippany?" I told her I was a realtor, and I said, "Yeah, I have." And she goes, "Oh, okay." She says, "My father passed away earlier this week." And she's like, we need to, sell the house. And we're not there yet, but I may call you. So I said, awesome. So I gave her my card and then I handed her my phone. I said, here, put your number in my phone. And then I texted her while I was there and she's texted me back. So I've been more intentional about meeting people out in the world.
I love that, Kelly. 2 things for you. Number 1, you know what's going on in her life. Her father passed. They're not quite ready yet. They're getting ready. How could you come from contribution? What could you send her that can help her on this journey of getting her father's house ready?
Well, I actually have a guide because I work with a lot of sellers
Okay.
who are selling their parents' house. So I have a guide. I don't know what else I could provide.
I mean, I think that's
Maybe
enough. Send
some
the guide over, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a list of vendors, hey, if you're looking to get this home prepared, I know you're not ready yet. I'd love to come by and walk through the house with you and maybe point out a few things that you can start working on to make it ready to sell. And I have vendors. So if you need a landscaper, if you need a plumber, if you need, just come from contribution.
Okay. All right.
I love that. I love that. And the other thing is when you're making your calls, are you using like Vulcan 7? What are you using when you make calls?
I use Red X.
Red X, okay.
And it's just like, I'm not getting through. Finally, I think there was someone, I was on a call the other day and the guy said he had to get his, you have to get your number, the number that they assign you. You have to get it spam protected. Well, I've had Red X for a year and no one ever told me that. So
I just told
got-
Brittany that last night, like, make sure it's not showing up as spam because that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, so I just got that. I got the protection like about a couple of weeks ago. It took a month for it to happen, but I'm just not reaching enough people. I'm just dialing and dialing and dialing. Nobody, not getting anybody. So I try to do it like maybe later in the day, if I have a slot open, but I'm just not reaching enough people.
Well, a couple of things, and I recommended this to Brittany as well. Put like a friend or family member's number in RedX and call them and see how your number shows up. Because even though they tell you it's protected, it could be whitelisted where now it's showing up as spam again. So you just want to make sure when you're making calls, it's not spam likely. And then number two, I love Vulcan 7. I love being on the dialer. I love how many calls I can get through. But to say, hey, I made 300 calls and I didn't get any appointments or talk to anybody, it's not really serving me well. So one thing I would challenge you to do, Kelly, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, don't use the dollar, don't use RedX. Manually call for a day. And here's what I want you to do. And all of you guys do it as well. You call, nobody answers, hang up immediately. And then call right back. If they don't answer the second time, leave a voicemail. However, most people who are home, they ignore the first call. But when you hang up and call back, it's like, who is this? Is this important? Let me maybe answer this call. And I promise you, you will see your pickup rate increase. That's kind of like the gift and the curse with these phone dollars because they're only calling it one time. And sometimes when you're doing it manually, when you have that control to just hang up and call right back, you're going to end up talking to more people. So give that a try today or tomorrow and see if that doesn't change.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, good stuff. Lador, you said you're manually. Go ahead and unmute real quick, Lador. You're manually calling and.
Okay, hey, thank you. Yeah, I did just because that's what you guys were discussing and it clicked. Yeah, I don't have a dialer. I'm manually calling, getting some leads from Land Voice or what have you. That seems to be a problem because I'm not getting anybody. And so I'm glad you said that, hang up and call back. I've even started texting because I don't know if they think you're still just a spam call. So I've even sent a text message. Hi, I'm calling to see if your home is still available so that they don't think, well, she was just somebody, a lost number or something. So I'm very intentional about the text message and just saying, hey, I would like to talk to you about your home or what have you. But I've gotten appointments, but I'm not closing. I'm frustrated. I'm taking action, which I was not at first. Let me be honest. I'm moving myself into a space that I wasn't. I'm taking steps to build this muscle called calling. I'm not afraid to talk to people. It's just that I just go there and we have all these nice conversations and some of them are so, well, the few that I've met with, they're like this week, the lady was just so hell bent on selling it herself. She had people had been there before I got there. Somebody was coming to see the house right as I was leaving.
Right.
And so as you said, to qualify someone before we really go out, I mean, they asked me to come over to see the house. It seems like someone is motivated. They're really trying to sell their house, but she stays a few blocks over. She didn't mind coming over, showing the house. I'm just running into a dead end as to how do you really get to move them towards the conversion. I guess that's where I'm stuck. I guess as you're talking about appointment setting, maybe we're going to go into that a little
We're
bit.
going to go into that because you have to be intentional. What you focus on expands. And so when you're making these calls, my question is, and just really quickly, guys, Kimberly saying that camera's on. Someone said they didn't get the booklet. I put it in the chat. There's a link that opens up the Google Drive. Plus the booklet is on the Mighty Networks platform. So hopefully you have the booklet now. Lador, here's the thing, and here's the thing for all of you guys. What you focus on expands. Your goal of making calls needs to be, I'm making calls to get an appointment, not to have a conversation. There are so many lonely people out there. You could be on the phone all day, right? I used to get suckered into talking to people for half an hour, and I hang up, and I'm like, what was that?
Well, no, I meant when I get to their house, there's all this, nice conversation going on. And you're, as you say, you always say mirror people. So
Yeah.
you take on their style or their speed of conversation or their energy, and then you do mirror that. And then that can turn into 30 minutes. Then you're going into, or I need to go into, hi, the reason I'm here. So
You need to follow a script. So like when I teach my push training program, it's Hey, thank you for having me over. I'm going to take a look at your home. Let's sit down. I have 3 questions for you. I have 3 goals for our meeting. Let's get into it. It's being highly scripted. Real estate is highly scripted, what we do and what we say. And so when you're learning, like in Push, the pre-qualification, the listing presentation, all that is a script on how you handle yourself when you're at someone's house. You have to take control. So when I say mirror and match, if they are one of these people, I'm not saying talk. I'm saying run the meeting and then mirror and match how they talk, match their rate of speed, match how they sit, but don't let them control the meeting. You control it. You control the phone conversation as well. And what we need to do, guys, to really work on getting people from the phone to meeting with us in person, getting from people from meeting with us in person to sign in the paperwork, is we got to understand the natural progression of a great phone call, the natural progression of a great listing presentation is them agreeing to meet with us and them signing paperwork. So this is why we have to be so scripted and so focused on what our job is. And our job is to get new business and to set appointments and then convert those appointments into listing opportunities. That's all we're here for. That's what we do. Isn't it?
I need to get the script to stay on script. That's where I'm falling down at. Thank you.
We're going to talk about Push. Yeah.
Thank you.
We will talk about that because it's so important. And if you guys see like on the handout, and hopefully everyone has a handout now, Kiani, if it's in the chat, so I hope you have it. There's this whole thing like transitioning the conversation, right? It sounds like you might be open to exploring your options. How's today at 6 or tomorrow at 4? So I can come by and go over that with you. Again, you're looking at your schedule when you're available, and then you're giving them those days and times. You just have to learn how to move that conversation to an appointment. Hey, listen, I'd love to stop by and show you what's happening in the neighborhood. Would tomorrow at 6 or the next day at 4 be better for you? Hey, listen, I can share a quick pricing strategy that helped a needy seller nearby. Do mornings or afternoon work best for you? Well, here's what I have in the morning. Here's what I have in the afternoon. You got to learn, like, as you're getting these cues from them and they're open and interested in what you have to say, your job is to then just move and transition that into setting an appointment. That's your goal of making the call, is to get an appointment. So take it there. Sounds like, you know, you'd be open-minded to hearing a little bit more about what I can do to get your home sold. I'm looking at my schedule. Does 6 today work, or is 7 o'clock tomorrow better? And book the appointment.
Hey, David, and then I also want to be very honest
Yeah.
and just say I lost a listing last week. I lost a listing. I had talked to the FISBO lady. I could not get her back on the phone to save my life. And as you said, I had to hang up, call back, hang up, and call back. Then she finally answers, only to tell me she'd signed with someone the day before and that I was one of her top picks, but she never answered the phone again. And it just bugged me like, why? Lady, what? It just killed me because anyway, that I just have to say I lost that one.
I want you to be hungrier, and just like you called and hung up and called and hung up and she finally answered, I need you to do that a few days earlier. Like, show, you know what I'm being serious. Like, you got to show them like, yo, I'm here. I'm a bulldog. And you see how hard I'm working to earn your business. Imagine once you put me to work, I'm ready. Like you need to show them that you're hungry and you want it, and you got to take ego out of it. I don't want them to be mad at me. Who cares?
Right.
If they get mad, they get mad, but you got to tell them like, listen, you want someone like me, because in this market, you want someone who's going to be out there working hard for you, pushing your home, getting your home sold. I hope that I'm showing you I'm that type of agent just based on how I'm showing up to earn your business. Imagine when you put me to work. So do that next time in the beginning.
And let me say to you, I did ask her because I was just so crushed about the whole thing. I said, ma'am, may I ask you, because I just would like to know what I could have did different. What made you choose this other agent? And you know what she said? She was so aggressive.
I told you, aggressive. That's what you need to do. That's what they want.
Okay, I got it now. I got it.
Johnetta said it best, want it more than you fear it. And I know it's tough sometimes to like keep calling. That's why to me, and I know there's some other coaches that will tell you just book the appointment. That's why to me it's so important to understand what their motivation is, because when I'm calling, I'm making it about them. You said this was important to you. I know I can make that happen. We need to meet. We need to get this property on the market. Time is of the essence so that you can get to here by this time. I make it about them, but I'm calling and I'm showing them I want it. And that person got it because they showed them they wanted it. It's a hard lesson to learn, but you got it now. At least you know now. You know how you got to show up on these calls. Johnetta?
David, you are so, you know, you're so smooth. I just have to say, you're so smooth. You're good with semantics. So I just try to, you know, eat as much of what you're saying as possible and going through. So I try to write notes on, you know, just different five ways to ask, you know, to try to close them because it's like, okay, can I meet with you? Okay, can I meet with you? You know, and I hear you saying things like, sounds like then you're open-minded to getting your home. So some of these things that you say, is that in your Wanted More in Your Favorite book?
Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this. You have these cards, don't you?
Yes.
The cards I'm referring to, guys, are exactly what to say for real estate agents. So I'm just going through these cards right now. I'm on the phone with someone and we're having a conversation about possibly selling their home. Just out of curiosity, what would it hurt for us to talk for 10 minutes? And if I could actually help you accomplish your goal in the time you need it done, I mean, I'm sure you'd be open-minded to that. Would you be open-minded to getting another opinion? I know you've talked to 3 agents already, but would you be open-minded to hearing from me and what I do to get property sold? If I can get this done for you, will you at least give me an opportunity to show you what I can do to get your home sold? Would it help if I came by and I gave you some staging information? I know you're doing an open house this weekend. Would it be helpful if I brought you some staging things that help you prepare for your open house? Could it be possible that you've already found the right agent? We just haven't met yet. I actually need to stop by and show you what I can do to get the property sold, right? How certain are you that selling, so you can just go through this whole list. These questions will lead you to asking for an appointment. I would get on with a role play partner and I would just go through, how important is it? I would go through all these prompts. These are the things that take it from a conversation to an appointment. So you already got the cards. What I'm saying, Johnetta, you may think hey, that sounds good. That sounds smooth. It's just a script. I just have internalized it and you have the same script. You just got to use these. You got to practice using these and even have them on your desk. Like find your top 5 that you love that you can easily transition into. And maybe it's just out of curiosity, or would you be open-minded? Maybe those are the ones you leave on your desk. And every time you go for the close, maybe it's trying the different one of those cards and seeing how that works to get you to the close. Have fun with it.
That's great because when I think about these cards, I think about them more from the conversation, you know, piece. But I love that what you're saying, because my brain just had not thought that far. Like, hey, use this to close. So I will be practicing that with my classy closers today.
I love that. The just out of curiosity and would you be open-minded are 2 of my favorites that really work. Everybody is always willing to think that they're open-minded to new ways of thinking. So when you say, would you be open-minded? They're like, well, sure. Well, great. Then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop by and have a conversation. Michelle?
I was just gonna say I can definitely see what Ladora was saying, because a lot of times like that Southern charm, get in there, you just want to be like kind and oh my goodness, you have a beautiful house, blah blah blah. And they start to see you as more of a friend as opposed to like girlfriend and marriage material, you know? So I think that's where we have to go ahead and make our intentions known. And me going through push and going through this whole process is allowing me to see like it's so important to know the script, be able to know what to say, and also listen intently. Because a lot of times we're just so focused on, I need to get the listing, I need to get it signed, to where we're not really listening to what they're saying. And I think repeating and improving, pattern interrupts, all of these things are so important because in the South, people will bring you in and they'll keep talking and talking and talking and talking until they're exhausted. And then they're like, okay, baby, well, thank you for stopping by. See you later. And you've spent 2 or 3 hours and really haven't gotten what you needed to get done. So I love what you said, and I think I heard you say, David, we have to set the boundaries and set our intentions when we show up. But that also needs to start with what Brittany was saying in the pre-qual. When I come and see you, this is what I'm going to do. And then, as I said over the phone when we talked, here are the 3 things that we're going to accomplish today.
Setting the intentions.
So, so as a teacher, former teacher, you know, you have to set the objections and then allow them to see you get through it. Do you have any questions about my marketing plan? Okay, now that you don't, let's go to the, so just, you know.
I hear you.
And then also, I got this from Amazon.
Bling bling. Okay.
Yeah. So as I was told as I'm making a call, if someone says no, still press it, because every no gets you closer to a yes.
Did it say something when you pressed it?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
I'll press it again. Did you hear it?
No. What's it saying?
Okay. It's saying cha-ching, or
Oh.
it makes a cash register sound.
Well, here's the thing I want you to understand, and I agree with that advice. Guys, here's what you need to understand. You might make, let's just say example, let me just do easy math. You might make 10 calls, and 9 out of the 10, you get nothing. On the 10th one, you earn $10,000 commission. The way you need to look at it is that every phone call was $1,000, right, Michelle? That's why they're saying hit that button every time, because every time you make a call, right, is leading you closer to getting the business. So every phone call, even if someone doesn't pick up, the activity breeds activity, and it's worth something every time you make a call. So I don't disagree with that advice. I think it's good advice. And here's what I'll say to you guys. We got to set the intention. Nobody should be going on appointments that last over an hour. Okay? No 2-3 hour listing appointments. If that's an issue that you have, set an alarm on your phone for 60 minutes. And when you're there, like, oh, I got to go pick up my kids, or I have another appointment. If you're spending that much time with somebody, more than likely they just want to talk. And I believe what Drake said, no new friends. I'm trying to get some business.
And David, I think sometimes you'll even mention it, and of course it's believable, but you'll say, hey guys, morning mindset, I know I usually go past 9, but I have a hard stop at 8:55 because I have an appointment. So I'm even setting that in my mind, because I know how I am, and I don't, you know, I hate to be sandwiched on the couch between, I'm not a cats person, but somebody's dog and them. And so we have to set our intentions and follow the script. I'm going to place my items here at the table, do a quick tour, and then when I return, so it's like letting them know step by step. And then even when we walk in the door, like saying, okay, hey, I have another appointment I'm here, it's 4 o'clock. I have another appointment that's at 5:30. So I have to leave by 5 o'clock. Even if you're leaving before then, it gives them the mindset of, she doesn't have all day. She's not going to sit here and eat dinner with me and have crumpets and sweet tea.
Exactly. And also, here's the thing too, like when I say I have a hard stop at 8:55, that's me building in the buffer, because I know people are like, well, one more thing before you go. Don't use this against me, but usually I have to go at 9, but I'm saying 8:55 because I know, David, one more thing. Like somebody always has that thing they have to give out. So know that too. Like when you go on these appointments, you're setting the expectation. When you go through push, you're telling them our listing appointment might last between 5 and 25 minutes. Like, so you come in and they know that you don't expect to be there for an hour, right? You're there for business. You're setting an appointment to go get business, These conversations means that they're controlling the conversation and you aren't. Because if you were controlling it, you would be following your schedule. You'd be following your script and getting through all the questions and pertinent information you need to get through. So we got to be committed to actually following the script that we're following.
And David, one last thing, Baptist preacher. I love when you give us you use the Heisman in an appointment. It's like, whatever you say or decide, I'm okay with. And truly be okay with it. Whatever they decide, that means that God didn't want you to be there anyway.
It's the perfect script, Michelle.
take some Pepto and let them go. Move on to the next one.
What Michelle is referring to is this script, and I recommend you guys write it down if you haven't before. Hey, Michelle, when I come out, my goal is to give you all the information you need so you can make the best decision for you and your family. Whatever you decide, I'm okay with. Takes the pressure off of them, takes the pressure off of you. And I can say that because I know the next day I'm going to get back on the phone and find more people. And if you're not serious and if you decide not to hire me for whatever reason, I'm not stuck and, in my feelings about it. I'm on to the next one and I'm making more phone calls. We lead generate so we don't have to tolerate. So whatever you decide, I'm okay with. If you decide you want to overprice it, okay, I'm not taking that listing. If you decide you don't want to pay the commission I'm worth, okay, I'm not taking that business, right? We lead generate so we don't have to tolerate. So that script, whatever you decide I'm okay with, takes all the pressure off. You go do your job, and if you do it correctly, the decision will be you, unless you decide not to take it. And you may not take it. You may not like the price they want. You may not like the commission they're willing to pay, or you just may not like them and the way they communicate with you. If you lead generate, you can walk away from that and go get somebody else. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so one thing I want to cover before we start wrapping up, and I know we're past 10, the final class I wanted to stay on. If you guys remember, I told you the final class would be 90 minutes. The last page, there are seller and buyer pre-qualification questions. Look at those. Start getting used to, before you go on the appointment, going through some of these questions. You can take some questions out, you can add to it. You want to go through certain questions so that you're prepared for the actual meeting. You want to know what they expect from you. You want to know how much they own the property if they're interviewing other agents. You want to know all this information before you go out there so you can decide, is this an appointment that I actually want to keep? Because just because you made the appointment doesn't mean you need to go on that appointment. And sometimes once you make the appointment and then you pre-qualify, you start looking at the answers, you're like, yeah, I know this neighborhood. These homes only sell for $5 and they're telling me they want $750. Before I go out there, we need to talk a little bit more about how they came up with that price and if that number is the only number that will cause them to sell their home. Because if it is, why would I even go? Because I know I can only get 500. So you start having different conversations with people when you start pre-qualifying. Every appointment needs to be pre-qualified. If you're in push, if you don't pre-qualify, I don't count it as a listing appointment. It should be a standard in your business, whether you take push or not, that you do not go on a listing appointment or a buyer rep appointment unless you pre-qualify them first. Don't waste your time, because the time you're wasting with them, you could be back on the phone finding people who are actually serious. So don't go on an appointment just to go on one. Make sure you're meeting with people who are ready, willing, able, motivated, coachable. Going through the pre-qualification will help you determine if that's someone you should actually be getting in front of. Does that make sense? All right. So here's what I have for you guys. I just want to talk about something here. This program for me, and I appreciate you guys trusting me to come through this program. This is something I'm beta testing, if you guys remember. And it's because of agents like Naki who are new, and Sharif that are new, and they just don't know what they should be doing. And it's learning what needs to be in that program so that I can make sure that newer agents have the foundation so that they're ready to take push. I actually have to turn people away from push because it's not just about the money for me. I don't want to have them come through push if they're not ready for it. So I want to create a program that's more a prerequisite to going through push. So like if you know your why, if you know time blocking, if you know about prospecting and setting appointments and you really have that foundation set, then you're good to go into push. So when I give you guys a survey later on today, and it's about a 5 or 10 minute survey, what I want you guys to do, especially people who've been doing real estate for a little bit, and there are some of you in here who've been doing real estate for a while, I want you to go through the survey with the mindset of, hey, I'm a new agent. If I had this information being brand new, how would this have benefited me? Was this helpful information? I like this, I don't like this. Less of this, more of this. We didn't talk about open houses and how we should protect ourselves at open houses. Maybe add that in. Whatever advice you have for me coming from the mindset of a brand new agent, that's really what I need from you guys. Because I don't want to just throw out a program just to throw out a program to make money. I want to throw out a program where people go through it and they come out on the other end more confident with the skills to go out there and make business. So I'm wanting that feedback from you guys. And here's the thing I know as I look at all of y'all's faces on here. It happens to me every class. I don't know why, and it's so disappointing. There's always a few people, no matter how many times I ask them to fill out the survey, they just never go back and do it. I don't know why that is. You guys made a commitment. I was raised by my grandfather. It's integrity for me. If I tell somebody I'm gonna do something, I do it. And so I would love for this class to be my first class ever where everyone who went through it kept the commitment and filled out the survey. Even if you hated it and you go through and like, David, this whole thing sucked, I'd never do it again, throw this in the trash, give that to me. I don't care what the feedback is. Be honest, and it's anonymous for that reason, because I want you guys to feel comfortable knowing that you're not going to hurt my feelings if you're being direct with me, but I want you to feel comfortable speaking your truth. And so it's anonymous, so I don't know who filled it out. I'm just getting the feedback. I know it's not the perfect program. I already know when I ask you guys about Go High Level on that platform, most of you guys are going to be like, thumbs down, because I even gave it a thumbs down. I didn't like it. So moving forward, I'm doing it in Facebook groups because everybody's on Facebook, and that's going to be easier for people to navigate through, and they don't have to use a new platform. So be honest with me. It's the only way that I can grow and help more people. And I will tell you this, I had a mastermind this morning with my guy, Stephen King, and we were just talking about stepping into our purpose. I'm so clear, and I know what my goals are, and I know what my purpose is. I just need to make sure I'm delivering the right stuff. And that's why I opened this up for beta testing, so that you guys can tell me and hold me accountable and keep me honest on what I'm putting out there. So would you guys do that for me? Would you really work through this survey for 5 or 10 minutes and give me your direct, honest feedback and get it to me? Like, I really would love it today. And I know that you guys are busy. So like within 24 hours, can everybody commit to getting that back to me? All right. The other thing I have on that survey, I don't want you guys to think like, okay, this was crazy, this new platform, I didn't like how things were organized, I'm not going to even look at doing David's push program. I will tell you this, push is a fine-tuned machine. Like what I do in push is set up, is ready to go. I'm ready for you guys. So anybody who's interested in finding out more about push, let me know. You can let me know. Just reach out to me directly. It starts October 30th. I probably need to do a better job at closing and asking for the opportunities around push. I like my students to speak for the people who go through it and have success. And yet I'm not going to grow and have the type of business I need if I don't start telling people like the benefits of going through push. So I just want to take a quick second to say this. If you know anything about real estate, you guys know they talk about the 3 L's. Leads, then you get listings, and then you get what? Anybody know? Leads, listings, and
Leverage.
Leverage. That's it. So what I do in push is I train you how to go out there and have control over your day and have control over your income. I learned very quickly that I didn't like working with buyers, not because I didn't like working with buyers. I didn't like knowing what I was going to get paid until I found them the right house they were looking for. And it could have been 2%, or it could have been less, or it could be 2.5%. I like going in, talking to a seller belly to belly and negotiating up front what I got paid. That's why I like listings, because I was able to create predictable income. I knew I was a 6% agent. I knew how to fight for it. And I knew if they were motivated and priced their home correctly, then I was going to get at least half of that 6%. So I like having predictable money. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I wanted to do with my business. And that's what I wanted to train other agents on, is how to provide value, how to show your worth, how to understand what's important to the seller, how to uncover everything that they're thinking about, so that when you go present to them, your presentation is covering all their questions. Your presentation is covering all their objections. An objection is really just an unanswered question in the mind of a seller. And if you pre-qualify, you know what their objections are going to be before you get there. You know what their questions are going to be before you get there. So your job is to cover those questions and objections in your presentation. And like I mentioned earlier today in class, the transition of a great listing presentation is getting the paperwork signed. The thing that people learn and push is that you can't just ask one time. You got to learn how to ask 2, 3, 4, 5 times before you actually get the paperwork signed. And you learn techniques like, hey, David, we need to think about it. Well, great. I need to return some calls. I'm going to step out to my car for 10 minutes and return calls. And when I come back in, we'll make a decision whether you list with me or if I take your listing. Either one's fine. And then you leave and you go to your car and you come back. And do you know every time I did that, I got the paperwork signed? Do you know why? Because I gave them what they wanted, some time to think it over. And I showed them I know how to close. I'm not leaving this house. What did Denzel say in that interview? I'm from around the way. I'm going to leave here with something. I'm leaving here with the paperwork signed, right? And that's the mentality you have to have. You're there to get the paperwork signed. And you're doing it, you're starting from the beginning when you pre-qualify. When I come to your house tonight, do you plan on listing with me? You're closing. When you show up at the appointment, we have 3 goals. One is to decide whether you want to hire me or if I decide to take your listing. Either one is fine. You're closing all along the way. So at the end of that presentation, when you say, are you ready to sign the paperwork? And they aren't ready, then it's your job to figure out why they're not ready and not leave that house until you get the paperwork signed. And so that's what I teach you guys in Push, how to go through that whole process where you can walk into that room confidence, knowing that this is my listing if I want it. Maybe I don't want it because they don't want to pay me what I'm worth or they don't want to price it correctly, but this is my listing to lose. And once you guys get to that point, only when you get that point where you're confident that you can go through the listing presentation, we switch the whole class and then we get into prospecting. We talk for sell by owners, we talk expireds, how to call them, what to say, how to convert so that you can get more listing appointments. To me, that's Push in a nutshell. It's listing and prospecting mastery. And the thing that I want to say to you guys, it's not an inexpensive program. It's an investment that you have to make in you. And I can't spend your money. You got to know what you're worth. You got to know what you need. And you got to decide if investing in Push is the right thing for you right now. All I can tell you is this. The agents that go through it and do the work, the agents that are coachable, I got so many case studies I can show you. I'm going to have Mina come in and talk on one of our calls. Mina's like one of my first Push students. She's at the Keller Williams office in Ridgewood. Naki, I don't know if you met her yet. She's on the team with one of my other Push students, Haza.
It was Mina's house that we were, Mina's listing on the Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Mina's a good person to know because they get really busy. And so open house opportunities are there with Mina. So I would get in with her and Haza. And what I would tell you guys, July 5 years ago was Mina's graduation from Push. In July, she got her first listing. You fast forward that to 2025, Mina's on track this year to do anywhere between 70 and $80 million. This year. Last year, she did 43. And she's on track to do 70 to $80 million. Right? So I can't take credit for all her success. What Mina will tell you is that she didn't learn the foundation. She wouldn't have the business she has right now. We got to understand our job is to go out and have conversations, and we need to learn how to turn those conversations into opportunities. That's what I do in Push. This boot camp is new to me. I'm learning it, learning the materials, going through it as I'm going through it with you guys. Push I've been doing for 5 years, at least 4 to 5 times a year. I know Push. I can do Push in my sleep. And my job is to do something that most coaches don't do. It's to push you. Naki, did I push you last night?
You sure did.
Naki was like, never mind. I won't share.
I had to practice on my husband even after your call. I had to practice. Like, what do I say?
Well, not even that. It was just like when I pushed her, she was like, anybody in here watch Schitt's Creek? Anybody love that show? So, Janetta, I was telling, because Naki, here's what Naki said to me when I pushed her. She was like, ew, David. And I was like, that sounds like the girl from Schitt's Creek, because she would always say that to her brother. Ooh, David. And I'm like, but that's my job, is to push you guys. And most of you guys know me not from push, you know me from script practice in the morning mindset call. I'm that coach that doesn't go away. I'm not transactional. Hey, you pay for push. See ya. Good luck. If you stay plugged in, I'm plugged in. My goal is to help you guys and push you guys. And I'm reaching out to you and encouraging you and taking your calls and giving you feedback. And I mean, Brittany and I talk all the time.
It literally was a push off the ledge. Like you
Gotta
can't
have it.
swim, and they say go jump in the water, and you're like, no, it's cold. No, it's cold. I can't swim. And the instructor just like, go.
That's what you need. So here's what I will tell you. I will tell you, I'm not the perfect coach. Push probably can use some work, and this may be not the perfect program out there. What I will tell you, though, you will be hard pressed to find another coach that's committed to seeing you having success in push and outside of push. What you have to decide, whether you take push or not, maybe go through another coaching program. I'm not the only one. If you're not having the success that you need, find the program that's going to work for you and plug into it and do what they tell you to do. There's some good coaches out there. If you're not having the business that you want, it's time to invest in yourself. Some way, shape, or form. Push is just one of those ways. And if you want to find out more about it, reach out to me. I'll book a call with you and we'll talk about it. If you decide not to take push, no harm, no foul. You still show up at my script practice, still come to morning mindset call. I'm not tied to the outcome. Whatever you decide, I'm okay with, right? The script we use, I'm really okay with it. And I know that if you plug in and lock in, you'll have success if you're coachable. I know that for a fact. So what I need you guys to think about is, what do you want 2026 to look like? Because I don't know if you guys know this. Y'all know we already in 2026. That's the thing that makes it so tough, is that we talk about next year. We're already in next year because the work you're doing today won't show up as a paycheck probably until January. So we're already in next year. And don't make the mistake most agents make. Hey, I'll decide on doing the training program sometime next year after I get my business plan together. I'll do something in January. Because if you don't get started until January, it's already April. And you're not going to be able to catch up and get the type of production you need to hit your goals for the new year. The new year starts right now. So whatever you do, whatever coaching program you sign up for, do your homework, do your research, do your due diligence, talk to people who've gone through the program, read the reviews, commit to something, especially in this fourth quarter. Don't take your foot off the gas like most agents. You'll start seeing it. Watch on script practice. The numbers will drop in half. Watch on the morning mindset call. We'll have 15 people on, because October, November, and December, most agents are going to take that time off and unplug, and they feel like they've earned that time off. You haven't. If you were working full time, you ain't earned no 3 months off. This is your business. You got to keep working and plugging in. I'm not saying don't take some time off, because I'm going to take some time off. I'm saying when you're working, work. And make sure that you're doing the right things and you have the right systems in place. What you guys learn here over these 4 classes, staying plugged into your why, time blocking the right activities, prospecting and tracking your numbers, and then being purposeful about closing at least 5 times. If you just do that, I promise you, you'll have a better business. Just those 4 things. That's why I cover those in the boot camp, because that's the baseline for having a good business. Understanding why you're doing it, what gets you up every morning, right? Understanding how to time block those activities, tracking your numbers, making the calls you need to make, and then converting that to an appointment, getting in front of people, getting belly to belly so you can show them who you are and what you do. I'm excited to see what you guys end up doing. And I'm really excited to get this feedback and hear what you guys have to say about this essentials, because I really have a goal of rolling this out in 2026. And I run to roll something out that I can be proud of, something that you guys could be proud to refer another agent to. Like, hey, I went through this program with these changes that were made. This is going to be an excellent program. So tell me all those things that would make it great. All right. Stacy, what you got? I'm sorry, Kiana, what you got for me?
I just want to know if there was a recording of last week, since I missed last week's.
You said the recording?
Is there a recording? Where do I find it?
Yep, there's a recording. It's what I will do is I'm going to wrap up everything and I'm going to send you guys a YouTube playlist and it will have all the class recordings on there.
Will it be email or because somehow I know you reached out to me. My text, I never got text.
I don't know
Even
what's
though
happening with your
you
phone.
connected,
Yeah, we
I said, "Oh, I got
talked.
this.
Yeah.
And she said this was sent as a link via text. I got no text.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Do you mind guys giving me like 2 minutes real quick? I have somebody here doing some work on my house and they sent me a text and they need to get into the house and I just got to let them in real quick. Can you guys kind of talk amongst yourselves just for 2 minutes and I'll be right back, like really quick. I'm sorry to do this, but I got to let them in. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay, how's everybody? I just feel like somebody need to be making some sounds, so I'll start. I did make a copy of everybody Instagram, so I will definitely be following you and I guess sending in whatever you do on Instagram, but I'll be following everybody on Instagram. I'll make that a part of my to-do list.
I followed a bunch of people on Instagram this morning, so check. You should have gotten something from me.
Okay, great.
I did a bunch. I didn't do everybody. There's a lot, so.
Okay.
Is there a way, David, for us to connect, like maybe without, trying to get everybody's cell phone number or email address this way?
So what I'll do, Kimberly, if you can do me a favor and put together a form with everyone's name and number, and we'll send that out in the email along with the playlist for YouTube. So I'll give a class roster, everybody's contact info.
Can you add Instagram too, David? If they
Yeah.
have Instagram.
Yeah. If you put your Instagram in the chat, I'll have that sent over to Kimberly and we can add that into the list. Yep.
Great.
We should be supporting each other on Instagram and giving people feedback. And if you haven't seen them posting, I had to reach out to Taylor last night and I'm like, dude, you haven't posted since June. What's up? So we got to hold each other accountable. We should be posting, putting out content. So if you got to go, go. I'm still recording. But I just wanted to know, just out of curiosity, without the survey being on, was these 4 hours, 4+ hours you guys spent with me, did you at least take away one thing that can help you, at least one thing that can help you be a better agent? Not everybody's nodding their head, so I'm like a little concerned there. I'm like, okay. Yes. Somebody got 2 hands up, okay. So if there was just one thing outside of high level, I already know that sucked. Outside of the platform, if there was one thing that you would say, do this and this will make it better, anybody willing to share that one thing with me? I'm just curious. I love getting feedback. Listen, I already know it's not a perfect program. Give me one thing. One thing.
Be consistent.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Do the same thing, boring thing every day and develop what you're doing, grow in whatever it is you're doing, but make phone calls, prospect, whatever it is, work for yourself every day. Put a sign up saying, hey, you can just put your old company if you're a full-time agent. You know, sometimes I just think about like, oh, I do not want to go back to the hospital or whatever. I think about that and it is motivation and just you're working for yourself and what we do for other people. Like I said before, being an employee of the year, employee of the month, I want to be my own employee of the month. I want to be my own employee of the year. So I just have to remind myself of that. So be consistent because you're working for yourself and nobody else is going to jump in your body and become licensed to do what it is that needs to be done. We're the licensed person and we are the ones that have to get the job done. So
amen to that.
We just have to understand change. It's really a mind, you know, because we're shifting paradigms. We've always been groomed to, a lot of us, go to work hard, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it will come. So we just have to change and say, yes, it still will come because those companies, unless it was handed to them, they had to start somewhere, and most companies fail so many times before they're 50% of them, I think the number is, that fail before they get and then successful or get to a certain point, and then 50% of those fail. So we have to just give ourselves that failing grace, fail into success. And a lot of us are not willing to do it. We get so close to the edge, so close. And I know, because I'm speaking from experience, and I have to tell myself sometimes, girl, you're so close. It's darkest before dawn. Just keep, the storm have to come before you see the rainbow. Just keep pressing on. You're doing everything you need to do. It's no other choice but to be successful in some right or another, and then it levels up. But the universe doesn't operate where you're not gonna see some benefit of what you're doing if you really putting in the effort and you believe in what you're doing and you're
Agreed.
sincere about what you're doing.
I agree with you, and I would just say this: you guys have to choose your pain. Like, is it painful making the calls, doing the follow up? Is it painful asking for the opportunity 4 or 5 times? Yeah. What's more painful, though? Not making money and having to go back to work for someone else, not being able to pay your mortgage, not being able to do Christmas and the holidays the way you want to because you didn't make the money. Like, choose your pain. And the thing about real estate is that pain goes away as you learn and you get better. It gets easier and it's not as painful anymore. And so I'd at least love for you to bet on yourself and do the things that are a little painful that are going to lead you in the direction that you want to go, versus allowing that fear to keep you from taking action. Because the pain of not doing the work should be a lot stronger than the pain of doing it. So choose your pain. Brittany, what you got?
I have a couple of things I want to say real quick. One, I'm going to follow up on what you guys were just talking about, the pain. When I was trying to cold call in the first place, I couldn't get myself to do it. I wasn't committed or anything. There was an agent that started real estate, I would say a year, was only in for like a year. And they were doing way better than me, and they were making the calls, they were getting all these listings, and I was in real estate for like 6 years. And I'm watching this agent that just started. I'm like, how is that person doing better than me, getting more sales and everything? And I knew that person was cold calling every single day. And I used that pain of seeing somebody that just started compared to me do better than me to motivate me to make those calls. And I use that as a fuel. Like, I remember how I was feeling, like, wow, you're slacking, to make the calls, be like, oh, you remember how you felt last year? You're not feeling that way anymore. You're going to go and make those calls. And I use that as a fuel. So just remember, when you don't want to do it, think about what you're missing out on.
Yeah.
You call that right person, that one person that's waiting for your call. And if you don't call them, you miss out.
You miss out. And Brittany, people get caught up coming to trainings like this and reading books and going to seminars about how to go do it, and they're not doing it. Mm-hmm. If you guys know Brittany, she works out all the time. She can read books and watch YouTubes on how to work out in the proper form, but she's not going to get the gains if she don't put the work in. So just like she shows up at the gym, she's showing up on the phones. It's what you said. That was good.
You're showing up for yourself as well.
Yes.
You're doing things for you. Future you is going to be happy that you took that 30 minutes to an hour of pain, because now you're, getting $10,000 just from that one call. And then in regards to improvement, I liked how you had and towards the end, you were sending out text message of reminders. I would make sure to do that always. And then also the paperwork that we filled out where we submit it, we're not able to review it. So I wasn't able to remember if I did it on Monday or Tuesday to make up for it. Also, so you can reflect back, okay, this is what I submitted. And then the last thing, in your packet, I don't have it in front of me, but it was in regards to, it was the last one that we got, and it had questions about asking us how your day went. Like, what did I do good? What can I improve about the calls or whatever we did? I did it one day, and it made me reflect and realize a lot. So I would recommend adding that as the homework.
For every time.
Yeah. I know it's going to take people time, but I
It's
think
helpful though. It's helpful.
it definitely is.
Okay, so if you guys heard what Brittany just said as her feedback, that's the type of feedback I need. Like, hey, I need the reminders. I need a leaderboard so I know if I submit homework in, you received it and I did it, so I can look back and see what I did. I need you to make this a homework every day to reflect on. That's the type of feedback I need. Like, what is going to make this program great? Brittany, thanks for that, and I'm sure you'll have more. But guys, that's similar to what I'm looking for from all of you guys. Again, if you guys have to drop off, feel free to drop off. This is recorded. You can go back and listen to it later. I will be sending out the survey today, again, within 24 hours. Can we make this 100% class where everybody fills it out? Even if your feedback is negative, I'll never know it was you. I'll never know it was you. Your name, your email, nothing's associated. It's just feedback. Michelle, what do you got?
I'm not sure if this is applicable. First of all, the program was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I love how you held us to a certain time frame of, okay, we have 2 other people, then we're moving on. I like that piece. Also, what Brittany was talking about, because I felt the same way, I feel like there should be a date and time, or so, and have it open ended. So if I'm marking my data for yesterday or today, even just put a date, like what specific date are you reflecting? And then also, if there was a date on the form, like today's date is 10/8 to 2025, at 10:40, that's the time that I'm entering it. But the date that I'm referring to is 10/7, or is it 10/8? You know, what time? Because I noticed you said, was it 2 hours, 1 hour, however long we did it?
Yeah,
But specifically, what time frame are we reflecting on?
that makes sense. I got that.
Okay. All right. And then I'm not sure if this was supposed to be script specific or not. Like, okay, never mind.
Nope.
Then
I gave you a couple
also,
talking points, but it's not really like the scripts training. That's push, and this is kind of like
okay,
just building the foundation.
okay.
Yep.
And then also the like a Facebook group.
Well, it's funny you say that, because moving forward, even with push, I'm moving away from Mighty Networks. I'm doing the Facebook group, so you guys have an ability to chat with each other. You're
Yes.
already on Facebook already. You don't have to learn
Yeah.
a new platform. So yes, Facebook group's going to be where it's at.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, perfect. Well, guys, I want to say this. If no one else has any other comments, I appreciate you guys being here. Take one thing and know this. When you go to a training, we go to a lot of training for real estate. Every time you go through one, choose one thing that you're going to implement from that training and implement that into your business. So from this course, maybe it's knowing what your why is and understanding that. Maybe it's time blocking lead generating activities. Maybe it's prospecting, figuring out who to call, who you want to go after, what your prospecting game looks like. Or maybe it's just closing more for the opportunities and the appointments. Whatever it is, based off of what you learn, choose one aspect of this and lean into it. Lean into it. And it's going to be different for all of you guys. However, what I know is every single one of you guys on here can have success. If you need more business, and we all do, because nobody on here is hitting their goals for this year, at least that I'm aware of, including myself, you have to have more conversations, including myself. I did a little check yesterday. I haven't been on LinkedIn for 30 days. Shame on me. That's where I need to be having conversations with team leaders and brokers. So even I'm dropping the ball on certain things. And so I'm doing some of the activities I have you guys doing, and I'm recognizing I'm not talking to the people I need to talk to consistently, like Jonetta said, showing up consistently every single day. So do all the things. You want more business, have more conversations. If you're having the conversations and you're not getting more business, it's because of what you're saying. It's a scripting issue. So get help with scripts. I do script practice twice a week. That's running through scripts. You need formal training on scripting and objection handling. That's what push is all about, right? Not script practice, script training is what you need. And whether that's with me or any other coach that does script training, get it. Doesn't have to be with me. It just needs to happen. If you're making the calls and you're not getting the conversion, it's a matter of what you're saying. So work on that. And with that being said, that's all I have. Unless you guys have anything else, I have 5 more minutes, so I'm willing to stay on for 5 more minutes. If you guys have anything, I'm going to work together and get this email out to you guys. The survey will be the most important thing I get out to you, and then I may follow up with another email with the recordings and everything else that you guys need, like the class roster with the names and the Instagram handles and the phone numbers. But I'm definitely going to get the survey out to you guys immediately, and I will send it via text and email for the people who aren't getting my emails. I'm sorry, who aren't getting my texts.
Well,
All right.
David, I'd just like to say thank you very much. This has been very beneficial to me. Just being able to connect the dots. I have my mirror set up. I have my cards. I have my organizers, my script book. It just all helped. It helped me to make sense of everything. I had a dot over here and a dot over there, and I was just kind of a little disorganized. I wouldn't say unorganized, but I just didn't know how to pull everything together. Tracking, I had already started doing little tallies of what I was doing each day, but I wasn't I wasn't doing the 30-minute increments, seeing just how much time that I was doing busy work. I also just even with the latest track and seeing that I wasn't making, I mean, I may make 40 calls or 50 calls, but in my mind, I'm working real estate all day long. And I realize I'm really not working. It's just in my head that I feel like I'm always working. But when I look at the paper, it's like, girl, you only did 3 or 4 hours. You didn't do 6 or 8 hours. You wasn't, because at work, at a job, you're gonna have to work 8 hours. Or you might
Amen.
have 9 hours with a 1 hour break. I mean, I might not want to work 8 hours, but I at least need to get myself, for me, where I am, I need a healthy 6 hours a day of working. And not just because of, not just to be working, but to train myself to avoid so many distractions. I realize I'm distracted. But anyway, my point is, thank you very much. I really appreciate this. I'm going way down somewhere. I
No, I
really
appreciate you.
appreciate you. I thank you so very much. And I don't take this lightly, and I don't take it for granted. Everything that you brought to the table, it's been a benefit to me. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. And you just reminded me of something I didn't say to you guys. You have to start with the end in mind. So if you know what your goals are, right? You know how many homes you want to sell, then you need to start thinking, well, how many appointments do I need to go on in order to get that number of homes? And this is why tracking your numbers is so important, because when you keep track of your time and you keep track of how many calls you make, how many contacts you have, how many appointments you set, it's really easy to say, hey, if I need 2 appointments every single week so that I can convert one into a piece of business, then I need to talk to at least 10 people 5 days a week. If I need to talk to 10 people 5 days a week, that means I need to make 40 phone calls to talk to 10 people, and it takes me 3 hours. So now it's very predictable. I come in, I make calls for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. I talk to 40 people. I make 40 calls every day. I get 10 appointments. You know the numbers. You know what you need to do. And really the one metric that we should be looking at is appointment set. Yeah, it's great that you call for 3 hours. Yes, it's great that you made 100 calls. Yes, it's even great that you had 20 contacts. But the only thing that really matters towards you getting paid is appointments. That's the metric that you really should be focused on. How many legitimate, pre-qualified, serious appointments did I have today? That's it. If you're not having the appointments, normally it's because you're not asking enough times for the opportunity. And if you're not asking enough times, it's maybe because you don't have the script and you don't know what to say. So just work your way backwards and figure out what you need to work on. And I have enough stuff. If it's your mindset keeping you, we got the mindset call for that. If it's the script keeping you from having success, you should be at script practice. You should be plugged into the activities that are going to help you sharpen that saw in that area that's keeping you from booking the appointments. The one metric, appointments. Everybody here should have at least one appointment every week, at least one. depending on what your goal is. If your goal is only, hey, I only need to sell 5 houses this year, this is vacation money, then maybe you don't have to have one appointment every week. However, if you're doing this full time, minimum 1 appointment every week. Minimum. Might be 5, depending on how big your goal is, depending on how good your conversion rate is. You have to track your numbers to know that. So start tracking, write everything down. I should be able to ask you in 5 months, how many appointments did you go on this month? And you should be able to tell me 7. How many listings you take? 4. You should know your conversion rate. So now you know if you need four listings, you need to go on 7 or 8 appointments. Your conversion rate's 50%. So now what do? You increase your conversion rate. So now you go on 7 and maybe you get 5 people to list with you. Maybe you go and you learn how to negotiate your commission and you go from getting 2.5% on the list side to getting 3%. Just got to track everything. I'm gonna stop talking because I can talk all day about this stuff. Y'all know where to find me. Tonight at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna be on script practice. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be on Morning Mindset. You guys know where to find me. I ain't going nowhere. If you guys are interested in push, hit me up. We'll talk about it. If not, I'll see you on the calls. Thank you. And congratulations for investing in yourself. Fill out that survey. Help me so I can help more people.
I
And
will
Yes.
say the boot camp met its objectives. The objectives that you laid out in the beginning about us gaining clarity and knowing what a schedule looks like and knowing what our day should consist of, it definitely met the objectives. And that's before you even give the survey. So I'm grateful. It really helped reveal things to me. As she said, it revealed my distractions. It was a lot. It was well worth it. And yes, thank you. And I'll be glad to fill out the survey.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. All right. I'm going to go. I'll see you guys on the calls. Go get after it. Go set some appointments.
Before you go, are we getting the survey on the email or text?
I'm going to do it both ways because some people aren't getting my text for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm going to send out the survey probably in 15 minutes via text. And then this afternoon, I'll send it out again via email. If you get it twice, just do it one time, right? And I'll get that over to you guys ASAP.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.